then please just close the video feed. So it's, and again, I would reinforce what Eric said. These hold questions until the presentation is over. And then there will be lots of time to deal with that. So it's a pleasure today to introduce Vicky and Pallavi. We're going to talk about the ARC program of Edmonton Transit, its evolution today for seniors. So Vicky, I will turn it over to you. You're on it, so for present.
Sure, I can start then. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Larry, for your introduction. So today we're going to be talking about the new fare system for taking the Edmonton Transit, which is called ARC.
Pallavi, these are seniors, some of whom are
Sorry.
here as well as we once did.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so I'll try to project my voice and just let me know if you still can't hear me. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we'll talk about ARC, and you've already done a wonderful land acknowledgement, so thank you for that. Okay, so let's learn about ARC. ARC is now available for seniors. We'll talk about some ARC basics. What is ARC? How does it work? How to use ARC? Getting started with it, as well as any questions and answers you might have or any customer service that you may need, okay? Okay, so ARC for seniors is available starting this year. We'll talk about what is changing. ARC first started kind of being introduced to students and then youth, and then now it's being rolled out to seniors as well. So yeah, we'll talk about that. And this is kind of what it looks like. So there may be two kind of groups of seniors using ARC. One could be people that are using the monthly pass or the senior tickets or the senior annual pass. And then there could be another group also that is applying for the low income senior pass. So we'll talk about both of those situations, and all of these people will be able to use ARC in 2024. So when I say senior, it's like anyone over 65. I'm sure you guys know that. But yeah, so let's talk about that. So basically, ARC is the new payment system, like I mentioned, and the reason that we're shifting to ARC as opposed to paper tickets or passes is just kind of to modernize the fare system and also to be able to collect better information about kind of how people use the transit, where do they go, which routes they take more often, and it just helps planning the transit better. Yeah, so that's those are sort of the reasons why. So as of February 1st, ARC will be available to seniors who use any monthly passes, tickets, or cash. And as of May 1st, also any people that are on the senior annual pass will also be able to start using ARC. Okay, so if anyone uses DATS, please continue to use your tickets or your passes, and DATS will have ARC available later this year, so they will send more information about that. Okay. So are there any riders here that use transit often? Okay, great.
Any annual pass users here?
I use the annual pass, or I have used it. We can't about this year.
Okay,
Good to know.
Okay, that's really good to know. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so so for folks that are using transit currently, if you use a senior monthly pass or senior tickets or the annual pass, the regular annual pass, sorry, not the low income one. So if you're paying the $385 per year annual pass, you can start using the ARC card, which is a pay as you go system with a senior fare cap. So I will explain what the senior fare cap means in the next slides. So basically, however, if you are on the low income senior annual pass, ETS will be sending you letters with a.
I found this on the web.
Um, okay, so, sorry, yeah, okay, so, the low income senior pass, which is for anyone who submits an application and qualifies for the low income pass. Currently, these folks are paying $139, or they're getting the card free. So they will be able to use the ARC card as well. But ETS will be communicating with them through letters and then sending them an already loaded ARC card. Okay, so for these folks, if they're paying $139 currently, for the rest of the year for 2024, they will be paying $104 because we're already into April for this year. Yeah, and then the folks that are getting it free will still be getting it free. So the low income pass, was I think the annual session was from April to April, sorry, but the ARC card will be from January to December. Okay.
So anyone using the low income annual pass now, the transition to this year is happening now. So people will have been receiving their letters and also their ARC card that's set up for them already. Okay. So that group of users is going to get an ARC card that's set up for them already to use as a period pass, not as a pay as you go.
And the period is the rest of the year.
Right, the period from now on, moving forward with ARC is January to December.
That's speaking of.
For people who are participating in the low income annual pass program, correct?
The low income pass for the seniors, not the regular one. I'm on the regular.
Yeah.
Low income.
Right, the regular one, that's
Yeah.
385, those folks are
I
transitioning
got
to,
my monthly.
okay, that's different.
Yeah.
So we'll talk after the
Yeah,
session,
let's-
we'll talk after.
Let's see, the presentation.
Thank you. Okay, so, a little bit more information about the low-income senior annual pass participants. Like Mickey mentioned, they will be receiving communication through a letter from ETS with an ARC card that's already set up. Okay. Okay, so some more ARC basics. So basically, it's an electronic fare payment system, which can be used regionally. So in Edmonton, as well as surrounding regions like Beaumont, Fort Saskatchewan, Leduc, Spruce Grove, St. Albert, and Strathcona County. And it's an account-based pay-as-you-go system. So unless you're on the low-income senior pass, for all the regular senior pass users, it's a pay-as-you-go system with fare caps. So I'll explain what the senior fare caps means. And basically it's a reloadable card. So you basically, like I mentioned, it looks like this, and you put money on it. You can use it again and again, and it's a tap on and tap off kind of system on the transit. Okay, so there's two types of ARC products available. One is the card, and then another one is an ARC ticket. So the ARC ticket is a single-use product. So you can either get a ticket for one-time use, which costs $350. That's for a 90-minute trip, okay? Or you can get a day ticket, which is $10.25. So that you can use that for the entire day. Okay, so those are the two products that are available. Are going to be available with ARC. Okay, so there's many reasons to use ARC. It's convenient, easy to use. You don't have to pay upfront. Like, let's say if you're buying a monthly pass, you don't have to pay $35 upfront. You can pay as you go as much as you need, or you don't have to pay, that yearly amount if you get the yearly pass, or you don't have to have the exact change for riding the bus or the train. Yeah, so and you can load as much money as you need. You can load it as whenever you need to. And it never expires, right? So you can and you can just keep using that same card again and again, and you can still enjoy the senior fares. Okay, so the way that you can still use those senior fares is through the fare cap system. That means that you do not have to pay more than your senior fares. So, for example, the senior monthly pass was $35, and the senior fare cap on the ARC card will be $35, so that you never pay more than $35 in a month. Okay, so if you reach $35 in a month, the rest of the month is free. Okay, so that's basically what the senior fare cap means. Okay, So the ARC system, basically it's a tap on and tap off system. So there's these machines called fare validators. They're present at all the buses and the LRT stations. So on the buses, they're present at the front of the bus and also at the back of the bus where the back doors are. So when you enter the bus, you can tap on at the front of the bus. And then depending on if you exit from the back or if you exit from the front, you can tap on again at the front, or sorry, tap off again at the front, or you can tap off at the back, depending on where you exit the bus. Okay, so, and then on the LRT stations, the fare validators are also present before you board the train. So you can tap on before you enter the train, and you can tap off when you're exiting the platform as well, okay? Okay, so there are also these machines you may have noticed that are called fare vending machines. So these machines you can use to buy ARC cards or ARC tickets. And you can also use these machines to add money to your ARC card. You can also use these machines to check your account balance or your trip history. And these machines accept cash, debit, or credit. Okay, and these machines are located at all of the LRT stations, as well as the Millwoods Transit Center and the West Edmonton Transit Center, okay? They're also there at other regions, like for Saskatchewan, at their transit centers. Okay, so how are fares charged with ARC? So like I mentioned, it's a pay-as-you-go system with fare cap. So for seniors, it's the senior fare cap. So each time you ride, the ARC card charges you the fare. So for each 90-minute ride, it charges you $2.75. Okay, so for each 90-minute ride, it's a $2.75 is the fare that will be charged on your ARC card. Okay, and each fare that you pay, so let's say each $2.75 ride, it goes towards your fare cap. So for a daily fare cap is $10.25. That's for everybody, regardless of their age group. And so once you reach $10.25 in a day, then the rest of the day is free. Okay, so that's the fare cap for the day. And then the monthly fare cap for seniors is $35. So once you reach $35 in a month, even if it's in the middle of the month, the rest of the month will be free. Okay, so that way you're never paying more than $35 in a month. Okay, so that's how the fare goes towards your fare cap. Okay, and then with an ARC, if you buy the ARC ticket, it's just a one flat rate. There's no discounts on the ARC ticket, and there's no fare caps applied to the ticket. Okay. So just so you have like a visual of all of the fares that I just mentioned, the daily fare cap, like I mentioned, is $10.25 for everybody. For seniors, the monthly fare cap is $35, and that starts from the first day of the month to the last day of the month. Okay, and then for the yearly fare cap is $3.85, so which is the price of the annual pass. And that starts from January 1st to December 31st of the calendar year. And so once you reach your yearly cap, so let's say you're still in like June or something, and then you've already reached $385, the rest of the year is free. Okay, so you're never paying more than what you were paying before. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so this kind of visual explains it a little bit more. So the flat rate fare is $2.75 for all riders. That is for a 90-minute trip, including transfers. So as long as you're within that 90-minute time riding the transit, you will be charged $2.75 on your ARC card. Okay, and then once for a daily trip, once you hit $10.25, then the rest of the day is free, like I mentioned. Yeah, and then for the month is $35, and for the year it's $385. Okay, so every time you tap on and tap off, you are charged for that trip. Okay, so ARC can be used, sorry, for 90 minutes. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. So ARC can be used in Edmonton and as well as in surrounding regions are also participating in this ARC program. And each region is considered a zone. So Edmonton is a zone. And each region's transit has their own fares. So other regions, they may not have those senior fares or those programs. So yeah, but it's good to check what the region's fare is when you're traveling to another region. So fare is charged on your trip based on where you tap on and where you tap off. So let's say if you're traveling within Edmonton for 90 minutes, you will be charged $2.75. But if you are traveling to another region, like outside of Edmonton, then you will be charged what's called a commuter rate. So you'll be charged the rate of the region's transit fare. Okay. So yeah, so you can use the ARC card to get your senior discount, like senior fare cap. And in order to get that senior fare cap, you need to use your ARC card. And in order to use the ARC card, you need to set up your ARC account. You need to register your card and add what's called a senior fare profile. So I'll explain how to do all of those steps. And with an ARC card, your balance is always going to be protected. So even if your card is lost or stolen, let's say, if you've created an ARC account online, your money will be protected there, right? So let's say if your card is stolen or lost, you will just have to call the ARC number and then report that it's stolen or lost, and then they will discontinue that card so that nobody else can use it, but your money will still be protected. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's important to mention is let's say if you're not an online user, you can set up your account in other ways as well, which I will explain a bit.
Sorry, what were the other ways?
We'll go over
that. Yeah.
I didn't want people to go away with thinking they could only set up an ARC account online.
Yeah, that's important. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, and then like I mentioned, your card never expires. So let's say you put $10 on it right now, but you're not going to use the transit for months. It's still going to be there, so you can use it later. Okay, so now we're going to talk about kind of how to set up your ARC card step by step. Okay, so there's basically 3 steps to using your ARC card. The first is to get an ARC card. And if you're present here today in this presentation, we do have ARC cards available to give out to you. But basically you can, in order to get an ARC card, you need to purchase it, and it costs $6 to just get an ARC card. And the $6, it doesn't have any money loaded on it. That's just for the card. But yeah, if you're present here today, like I mentioned, we'll be giving out cards for free, okay? So that's the first step, is to get an ARC card. And the second step is to set up your ARC account, register your ARC card, and add what's called a senior fare profile. And the third step is to load money to your ARC account so that you can start using it and riding the transit. Okay, so there's this graph, this table kind of explains a little bit more on how to do all of those 3 steps. So in order to get an ARC card, you can go online at myarc.ca. That's one way that you can get an ARC card. You can also call the ARC center, call center, and the number is provided here as well as on your handout. And an agent will help you over the phone. Okay, so the third way that you can get an ARC card is you can visit a service center. So in Edmonton, that's located in the Edmonton Tower on the 2nd floor. And there you can actually meet a person face to face, and they will help you with the ARC process. Okay, and then another way you can get an ARC card is using those fare vending machines that I mentioned earlier that are present at all of the LRT stations, as well as the Millwoods Transit Center and the West Edmonton Transit Center. So you can use the fare vending machine there and buy an ARC card. You can also buy it at a retailer. So most of the 7-Elevens in Edmonton sell the ARC card, so you can buy it there as well. Okay, so the second step, which is to set up your account, there's a few ways to do that as well. One of them is to go online at myarc.ca and set up your account. Another way you can do that is through phone. So you can call this number here, and an agent will help you to set up your account. Okay, and then like I mentioned earlier, you can also go to the Edmonton Tower 2nd floor service center, and a person there will help you set up your account. Okay, so the third step is to load money to your account, and you can do that in all of these ways. You can go online, you can call the ARC center again, you can visit the service center in person, you can use the fare vending machine to load money to your card, or you can do it, let's say if you're buying a card at a 7-Eleven, you can add money to your card there too, okay?
The important thing to note is if you are online, the myarc.ca website is a great place to go and do all of the steps to get set up. You can review your trip history on that. You can, load money, reload money, etc. All of your information is there. If you're not online, you have the other options of calling that ARC call center or going to the service center. So there's options for everyone in terms of getting started and using ARC.
Okay, so I'll explain a little bit about the online process. And we also have a one-page handout, which explains all of these steps in detail. So basically, if you are setting up your card online, you need two things. You need your ARC card already purchased, and you need an email address. Okay, so once you have those two things, you can go to myarc.ca and you can set up your account.
We'll just go over these briefly, not every single step, just because it's a lot to process.
Yeah, and if anyone needs late after the presentation, we can, go through the website with them as well if you need to do that. Okay, so basically you go on myarc.ca and then you click on this green button which says register account. Okay, so once you click on that green button, you will be entering your account number, which is on the back of your card. So basically it's this number here. It's located on the back of your card. And then you enter that number, and then you enter the 3-digit security code, which is at the front of your card. So it's here, okay?
These are unique to every card.
Yeah, so those two numbers, you will enter them, and then you will click on create your account. Once you click on that, you will receive an activation email. So after that, you go back to your email and then you click on the activation link, which will take you back to the myarc.ca website. And then from there, you can continue creating your account. So it will ask you to choose confirm and then set your password. So basically, you will need to set your login and your username will be your email address and the password that you will set up. So just make sure that you keep both of those things in a safe place so that you remember them, and that will be your information to log in the future. Okay, so the next step after you create that account online is to add your senior fare profile so that you can get the senior fare cap discount. Okay, so again, you go on myarc.ca, you log into your account that you've just created, and then you enter your email address and password. So after you log in, you select my account from the top menu, and then you click on apply for concession. Okay, and then from there, your ARC card will show up. So you can select your ARC card and click continue. And then for the fare profile, select senior. Okay, so double check your ARC card number, make sure your information is correct, and the fare profile shows as senior. Okay, then you click submit. And then after you do that, you will get an email from ARC Transit call center confirming that your senior fare profile is completed. Okay, so that will be kind of an indication to you that your account is indeed a senior fare profile. Okay, so in order to add money to your ARC account, you can again go on myarc.ca. You can log in using your username, which is your email and password. And then on my ARC page, you can pick your ARC card and you can reload. So click reload and next to balance to load funds. So, and then you can enter the amount that you want to load and click submit. So on an ARC card, you have to add at least $4. Okay, so that's the minimum that anybody has to add to their ARC account, ARC card, in order to use it. And then you can enter your payment method. So if you're choosing this method online, your payment options are Visa, Visa debit, MasterCard, MasterCard debit, American Express, or debit. Okay. So after you load your card, you're ready to use your ARC card. So once again, the 3 steps are to get an ARC card, to set up your ARC account, register your card online or to telephone or in person, whatever way is most convenient to you, and add your senior fare profile. And the 3rd step is to add money to your ARC account, and then you're ready to tap and go. Okay, So if you have any questions about the ARC service or your ARC card or your account, you can call this number right here. It's the ARC call center. And yeah, there will be an agent there to help you through whatever questions you may have. You can also send a message at myarc.ca/customer service.
That is through the website.
So that's the online method, or you can use the phone method, which is the call center. Okay.
Any plans to use electronic fund transfer directly from your bank account?
If you mean like an auto
Yeah.
way?
The way most.
Like an auto load, yeah, I believe there's an option for to auto reload. Just for this slide, if you are participating in the seniors annual pass here in Edmonton, that is a product that is unique to Edmonton. So if you have questions about that program, or when you're getting your card, etc., those need to be directed to the city directly. So the options are to call 311, to email the ETS Seniors Pass office, or you can just go online and check information as well. So if you are a annual pass user, questions about that program do need to go to the city. Otherwise, for folks who are on the pay-as-you-go and ARC card and they're wondering about anything to do with their ARC account, it's to the ARC call center. Just want to make that that distinction.
And we have some applications for the subsidized senior annual pass if anyone needs them here today.
The this that was sent around is basically one page summary of the slide that we talked about. If you want to set up online, again, to reinforce that is not the only way to get started on ARC, right? You don't have to be online to use ARC. So I urge you to check out those other options if online is not for you, if it's not something that you're not comfortable with. We also have this brochure as well. It's the information guide for seniors for ARC. So you're welcome to take those as well. And now if you have questions, be happy to do our best to answer them. Yes.
So what happens if you forget to tap off
Good question.
and you're in Edmonton? Just let's.
Yeah, we do encourage people to tap off just so that they're charged the correct fare. If you're traveling within Edmonton, you would get charged a missed tap fare, which is essentially the same as the local flat rate. So you're not getting charged more, right? You're not getting charged a penalty. We do encourage people to tap off for not only for the purpose of getting charged the correct fare locally, but also if you notice, there are regional services that also provide service locally as well, right? So you could technically hop on a bus, Strathcona County bus, and just take it a few stops. If you do that, you're tapping on. If you don't tap off, then the system will assume that you've gone to the region, right? If you don't tap off to say this is the end of my trip, it won't charge you the local rate that you're riding in the city. It'll assume that you've gone to the regional area.
I've got one follow-up question and then we'll.
No problem. I'm sure there's
keep
one.
going. So, a fare is good for 90 minutes
With transfers.
with transfers. So I go down, I take the train to the Bonnie Doon, go into the Shoppers Drug to pick up a package from the post office and take the train home.
Right.
When do I tap off? When I get home?
You tap, okay, so this is something that probably should have been, we should have been more clear about. So you tap on and off at each leg of your journey. So you tap on when you get on the bus, you tap off. And that's for each portion of your journey, right? So the bus, let's say you took a bus, tap on, tap off, transfer to the train, tap on, tap off when you get off the train. So you're tapping on and off for each leg of your journey. But you're charged only $275 within 90 minutes, right?
Okay.
So you,
Good. Okay, thank you very much. Jim had his question.
I'm on the normal, I asked you the question the last time you
Yeah.
were here.
yes,
I'm on the normal low income bus, but monthly pass.
Okay, so their only monthly pass for seniors is the regular senior.
I'm on the regular $35 low income.
Right, but $35 is the regular rate for the monthly pass
Yeah.
for seniors,
Yeah,
For all seniors.
for all seniors. Okay, so it's not a low income rate,
Yeah.
it's the regular monthly pass rate for seniors.
yeah,
So if you're buying a senior's monthly pass right now and you're paying $35, that's the regular rate.
yeah,
You would transition over to using an ARC card and a pay as you go. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, Grant.
Yeah, I went to the service center because I wasn't quite sure what I had to do, and they set it up for me for a senior's account. I have no idea. I don't recall that they asked me for a password or anything like that. How do I check to see if that has happened?
so they set it up for you at the counter?
Yes,
Okay, so you would probably be using your ARC account number if you're making inquiries about your account,
okay,
but the password stuff is really mostly the online, getting set up online. So they didn't, okay, well, I can take your name and number, because I want to clarify for myself as well. I believe that any inquiries you're making on your account, you would be using your account number in
right,
the future.
but I can't log into the account online unless I have a password already.
Right.
Do you want to
Do
use
you-
it online? Like, do you want to?
It might be convenient.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say no to that, certainly.
Okay,
okay.
we'll actually chat
Okay.
a little bit later.
Thank you.
I have a question. Like,
Sure.
And I'm still using this 350 fare because that's the only thing I have. So it's $35 a month for the pass.
The monthly pass, correct? Yeah.
Now that's 10 times getting on and off the bus during the month. A total,
Right,
for
yeah.
that $35, because it's 350 each time you get on the bus.
Cash, that's the cash fare?
Yeah. But that's all I've got to work. So it's $10, 10 times getting on and off the bus to use up that $35.
Right, I mean, if you're assuming the 350.
Yeah, and I know that the numbers are different, but that's all.
And then you don't pay any more after that.
Yeah, and that's the way it's always been. The rest of it's free after that first 10.
Sure, if you want to think of it in those terms, like,
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. But if I only get on the bus, say 6 times
Mhm.
out of the month, then I'm only using part of that $35. What happens?
nothing happens to that money. It stays there until you need it again.
Okay, now if I want to load.
Yeah.
To have that $35
Sure.
per month, if I want to go in on the first of the month. Can I just add the difference between the 35 and what's left over from last month?
If you wish, that's completely up to you.
Because I don't want to be doing, because it's always been the first of the month you buy a bus pass.
Right, if that makes it easier for you.
Yeah,
certainly.
I don't want to be starting to.
Right, because what you have on your card or your account stays there until you use it. So if you didn't use up whatever you had on your
Yeah.
balance, then it stays there until you use it. So technically it's there for you whenever, right?
Yeah, so if I want to keep that 35, because the 35 cap, if I just want to keep that, the 35 per month is what I'm paying for my bus bills.
Mhm.
Right,
If I've got, say, $10 left over that I didn't use from this month.
Yeah.
That's carried over to the next month, so technically, to keep that $35 cap, I would only have to add $25.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You can add as much as you wish.
Yeah,
you
but I
won't
just
charge
want to
more.
make it to the $35.
That's-
That's what I've been paying for
that's
the last
entirely
30 years.
Yeah, then you could certainly do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
There's,
I see, Alvin, do you have a question?
Thanks, Eric. Yes, I do. I just some friendly suggestion for dealing with inquiries. I have phoned the city and they are unable to tell me my own individual status. I sent in, well, I phoned and paid with my credit card on February 1st for the annual fair. And I haven't heard a thing since, and we're getting closer and closer to the end of April, and I'm rather concerned about that because the city was they could not drill down to an individual's file.
Okay,
So I'm
sorry.
kind of frustrated.
Okay, thank you for that feedback. We will definitely share it. So people who are on the annual pass program right now, who are waiting for their renewal card or their ARC card, which is what they're going to be getting this year. You're able to use your seniors annual pass up until May 1st. Okay, so you should be getting something in the mail. As for not being able to find out what the status is, I can definitely take that feedback back to the program area.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I can take your name off of the screen here. And
I'd really appreciate that. Yes, thank you. Alvin Schrader, yes.
Right, I wouldn't know how to get back to you though, so you would have to provide email address, or maybe we can get one from Eric later. Is that okay? Do you?
Sure. I mean, I can give you my email address right now.
If you're okay with it, the broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And we know where he lives too.
All right.
It's just my first name dot last name at ualberta.ca. Alvin.Schrader at ualberta.ca.
Okay, all right, Alvin. I'll see what I can
Thank
do.
you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Michael, I see you have a question.
Yeah, a couple of quick ones. First of all, thanks. So I have a card that I already did. I don't know that I've got, I did not have an annual senior pass this last year. So I don't know whether I need to go back in and do something about just being a senior.
Okay, so the card that you have right now, did you set it up online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you add the senior fare profile to it?
I don't know that I was able to find anything.
Okay.
Yeah, same with me.
Okay,
I had
so
bought a card before I
after-
was 65.
Yeah,
okay, so you can actually, once you have an account set up, you can go back in and change the fare profile to the senior fare. I would urge you to do that because that's the way you're gonna get the senior fare.
Right. Okay, right. So my second quick question is this good also for the bus that goes to the airport?
Yes, but the fare is $5.
Yeah, but it would automatic, if I use it,
Yeah.
it would automatically, that's
Yeah.
my real question.
Yeah.
Good.
I have
Sorry, Lori, I see.
Just if you have a sort of pay-as-you-go card, and let's say you're like me, you forget to top it up and you get to the bus, and are you able to pay in another way, getting on the bus if your card?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
As mentioned, you can pay cash, yeah.
Okay, cash is still going to be accepted,
Okay.
like
Sorry.
in the future.
Concept.
So, so yes, you can pay
I
with
would
cash.
not assume that.
They're on, when you're actually on board, that is the only way to pay for the fare other than ARC, or while we're still in this transitional phase where there's still paper and pass, paper tickets and passes available. So, yeah.
So Terry, exact change to the plan B.
Okay,
Sure.
Betty, you have a question.
I had another kind of, along with your question about the, to the airport. If I want to go to Sherwood Park, like right now, I show my seniors pass and I think it's $5 extra that I have to pay. If I just tap my ARC card and that will come off my ARC card then.
If you're on the pay as you go, yeah, you just need to make sure you have enough money loaded, yeah, so.
Like on my $35 monthly bus pass.
No, you need to make sure you need to have enough money to travel to other regions. So within Edmonton, it's $35 per month.
And so I'll never know how much money is still on there to travel somewhere else. Like, is it $35 to get on a bus? Or is it
No.
$35 to get on an Edmonton bus And then you have to still pay extra to get on these other
Well,
buses.
these other,
That's what I don't.
yeah, okay,
what I
so
don't understand.
the other regions still maintain their own fare structure, their own fares. So anyone traveling to these regions will have to pay their fare,
But it comes off the.
but it comes off.
But it
the
would come
card.
off. the
Yeah,
card.
right.
The $35 is only for trips within Edmonton.
Yeah, that's the fare cap.
Anything
per-
outside Edmonton costs extra.
Right.
Yeah, but if you have $35 on your card, you haven't spent the 35.
Yeah,
And you go to Strathcona,
You-
it automatically will take it.
it will
Yeah,
take whatever the
So
region
if you
fare,
I'll take it off as long as there's
Yeah.
still money on the-
as long
Yeah,
as there's
exactly.
still money on it, yeah.
Okay.
On the question of checking balance to see if you've got enough money on your card,
Mhm.
can you find that out with the fare vending machines?
Yes.
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 Excellent. Okay.
The slide there, I think it says that you can, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure
At
it's
all the
included in
LRT
that
stations.
information. You can check your fare, you can do a lot of stuff on those machines, the only thing you can't do is set up an account on.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Jamie, you know,
So I'm curious. I have been taking the LRT for a while, and as a student, I got an art card early. I have never once seen somebody tap on and tap off at the LRT stations. So I'm just wondering if there's like a monitoring system or something, or like, because it seems to me that a lot of people are riding for free, so I'm just wondering.
But
How that happens.
the people should be tapping off, there is monitoring, students, particularly UPass students. There's the, like, it's a period pass, right, so it's valid for 4 months. They've already paid into it, so it's not like they're gonna get paid, charged more or less using it, that's probably a reason why students aren't tapping off.
Or they're sneaking.
But if you're pay as you go, then really you should, right? And it does,
transit police used to come on and check if you paid, did they like scan your card and see? if you
that
tapped
is the way that they would be doing it now, yeah. They have handheld, checker things and, they can check, yeah.
Thank you.
First couple of times I
But
forgot.
just to clarify, basically, if
Yeah, no, I-
people aren't being tapped
Yeah.
off,
Realize
it
it's
would
really
be
water.
to go.
And we need one person
Is
talking.
that correct?
If people are on the pay as you go and they're not tapping off, within Edmonton, they're gonna get charged a missed tap fare, but that's the same as the $2.75.
They want to be happy.
Right, the thing you really wanna be careful about is not tapping off if you're using, traveling into a regional area. Because if you don't tap off, like you've tapped on in Edmonton, but if you don't tap off on their service, they're gonna assume you've gone to their community.
Gotcha.
The system will, not they, so
Right.
there's no they, there's the system.
Any questions on mine?
no other questions.
Other next question.
I just have one question. We've had a few seniors coming in saying they got that temporary card or whatever, they haven't yet gotten. Some people said they got one good till what was it, end of February, and they've been told to get their annual one. right
Okay,
away, but
I
not
think
gotten it.
I think what you're referring to is the seniors annual pass. So up until now, the seniors annual pass has had a validity of April to the end of March every year, right? So earlier this year, for this renewal season, people were on the program were sent a letter to say, we're gonna be, the renewal time is coming up. We'll be transitioning you to ARC and you'll be getting another letter, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's what you're referring to. It's not so much a temporary card. The card, so the seniors that are on the low income annual pass program, they are getting an ARC card that's already set up for them. Okay?
But my pass is right transit.
Okay, so yours is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Yours is Ride Transit, and that's different than the seniors.
Yeah,
They have not yet launched ARC for the Ride Transit users. Okay, so
that
now-
means I still have to buy my monthly pass.
Can I just
No.
finish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lady came with a letter saying like
Yeah.
she needs to now buy her other ARC pass, but it didn't have a place to go. So we weren't sure what you guys ideally were just hoping she would send in a check and you would mail out the ARC card, or like she was really confused and we sent her to Edmonton Center or Edmonton Tower. When she get out there,
Right.
like, I wasn't really sure what to
Right.
tell her.
Right,
They
so
didn't have much more information than just a mailing address, I was like, maybe they just wanted you to mail it.
they did.
Okay.
So people on the low income annual pass program, there's two levels. There's the free level, so people that are below the low income cutoff, and then folks who are just above it, they pay a discounted amount. So it's like $104 for this year. Typically it's $139. So those folks who have to pay anything for that tier, they would send in a check, right? Pay for it, and then they would get their pass once the payment was received. So that's probably what this person had to do. They had to submit their payment with their renewal, and they would have then had to just wait for their actual card to come in.
And we've also been told by people, they're told they have to re-qualify for low income. Is that true, or if they
If-
already were low income past before? You have
If
to
they've
low
sent
income?
you a letter with an application and asking for it, then yes.
But otherwise, not everyone's happy.
I think they have to renew it.
You,
Oh.
they need people to read the letters that they receive and reply with their information, just to confirm that yes, they wish to continue. And.
If I've been on the annual pass, the
Right.
regular 385 this year. If I choose not to renew that, then I can just do a monthly pass this month.
Well,
this year,
actually,
or whatever.
You don't have to renew anything because that option is no longer open. If you recall that slide, we were talking about the people of the groups that are switching over to the pay-as-you-go. One of those groups was the annual pass holders that pay the full rate, right?
Yeah.
So basically, you don't have an annual pass option
Okay,
anymore. You're just going to pay as you go.
Yeah.
And with pay as you go, you get that $35 a month cap, but also the annual cap of $385. So all seniors, any senior,
and
it's $385 to match that regular rate, that for the annual pass.
right, so there really is no annual pass.
For people who aren't on
On the
the,
regular.
yeah.
And for the city, you have to be 65 for seniors?
Yes,
There's a forgot password function somewhere in this that you do forget password used.
if you're on ARC, yeah, I'm sure that they would, if you forgot my password, then they would reissue one of it. Like with anything that you do online, if you have an account, there's
Yeah.
usually that.
Usually there's a
Yeah.
forgot my password and they'll send you an email. Do any other questions?
It's also known to be a forgotten password bonds.
Yeah.
I have just, and this is my own personal bugaboo.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'm not a low income senior and I'm not a frequent user.
Right.
So my price per ride is going from $1.98 to $2.75, a 39% increase.
So what Eric is referring to is currently the paper tickets that we have ticket strips of 10 that are $19.75 for each ticket strip. So per ticket, it would be $195, whatever, per ride. And yes, we acknowledge that there is a price difference between the use of the ARC card and those tickets. Feedback received plentiful, and I will share again.
I'm buying as many paper tickets as I could find.
And on that note, if you do have paper tickets still, and they're still being accepted up until the end of this year. So you'll notice the tickets that are out now have an expiry of 2023. ETS has allowed those tickets to be used throughout this year during this transition period. So if you have them, by all means, use them. Right? Why not?
Yeah, well.
And your bugaboo's noted, yes.
That's just my personal, because one of the things that I've tried to do is encourage seniors as we're getting older. A lot of people in Edmonton have never taken a bus in their life. And as they're getting older, the prospect of maybe not driving as much or driving at all. So I encourage people to take a bus whenever they can. So this represents an increase for them, but it's again, you've you've answered that question, but that was my personal thought was it's just for the occasional user who's trying to get used to taking, using ETS, which is what I tried to do.
And there is some, I mean, built-in flexibility with the ARC card, again, albeit the price differential between, you know, the paper ticket notwithstanding. The fact is you can add as much or as little as you want to it. On that note, I mean, you could put hundreds of dollars on it, but why would you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably not wise. If it is lost or stolen, you can report it and have the balance on that card transferred to a new card, which you'd have to get. Another thing too, folks sometimes like to put these on lanyards, like puncture. Don't puncture them. Put them in a plastic sleeve. If you do puncture these cards, then it can interfere with the responder.
Just, I had another part of the question to that. This is the way I've always carried my bus pass.
Yeah.
So it's not puncturing that, but it's on the back of the luggage tag. Is my ARC card still going to work?
It should, as long as you present the plastic portion, should be fine.
As long as you
Right?
don't
So
puncture the
Do
actual
you
card.
have to use the front of the card or the back of the card when you're tapping it?
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, you should be
It
able to.
really
use both
doesn't matter.
As long as they use, as long as it's through the visible plastic piece.
Right.
That
So,
shouldn't be a
so
problem.
if you have to use the front of the card to tap on, if I put it in backwards, if I put the back of the card out here, is that gonna work?
It
It should
should,
still
yes.
work, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's
sides
reading,
of the card don't have the barcode.
it's
That's
not the
what I'm saying.
barcode that it's reading.
not that.
It's not the barcode that it's.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what he was saying, there's a barcode. on the
Yeah,
side.
It's a chip thing inside,
Okay,
which is why. we
so
can't
then
do
this
it.
tracker on here isn't gonna affect it at all.
It shouldn't, yeah.
Okay,
Shouldn't.
if not, I'll go buy a new one.
I have got my ARC card and I'm the 385. I phoned them and they said it's coming. Okay, I said, how do I drive the bus? The usual.
Yeah, you can do that until,
That's only good until the end of April.
right, so,
Then what do I do?
Okay.
I got my ARC card.
well, your ARC card okay, so the folks who are on the paying the regular 385 rate. The ARC card coming in the mail won't be set up like it is for the low income pass. Okay, so it won't be set up for you, you have to set it up for you. I can give you one now and you can start. If you are indeed of that,
So when do I pay?
you don't pay, okay, you don't have to pay in advance now.
Okay,
That's,
that just comes, okay.
so the card that they were sending to you would just be a card that you'd have to set up and load in place. So you're not on the low income group, right? You're on the full rate. So that group is transitioning to pay as you go, ARC card. What the program area was sending you was a complimentary card that you don't have to pay $6 for to buy, right? But you would still have to set it up.
Set up means one on a computer.
Or
Or
the other options, or the other options, there's other
If
options.
owner go to Edmonton Center or
Do it over the call center or
The service
at the
center.
service center. So, yeah, if you wish to start using it now, we can give you a card, right? It's just not set up. You'd have to set it up anyways, even the ones
Because I
that
filled out, my name, my address that they wanted, and I mailed it back. But I still have never got a card.
Right, so they are mailing stuff out to all seniors annual pass participants. And I myself can't tell you why you don't have yours yet, but if you are indeed in that group, that's not the low income, you pay the 385, then really, the card that they'd be sending you would be one like this, that you have to set up anyway. So you're welcome to take one from us today if you wish to do that. The annual pass card that you have now is valid until the end of this month. So they've extended the validity for you to use till the end of the month.
Eric, could I ask? Eric, could I
Yeah.
ask another question? What happens at the end of the calendar year, December 31st this year? Will balances be carried over?
Okay, so for anyone that's on pay as you go, of course, their balance is always gonna carry over. If you're talking about the annual pass group,
Yes.
then
Yes.
there is no balance, right? Because you either pay in advance if you're in that paying tier, or you're getting it free anyways. The renewal period, the renewal period will, people will be sent letters again to let them know it's time to renew for 2025, and that'll happen towards the end of this year.
Well, the thing is that we're only getting 9 months of the 12 months for $385
You're-
then.
Okay, no, you're not actually.
Well,
Are
Well-
you, I guess there's some confusion here, so, if you're on the annual pass program and you're paying the full rate, the 385,
yes.
there is no renewal this year because that pass option is gone. It's only going to be for the low income group, the people who are paying the reduced rate or getting it for free. So right now, what you're waiting for, I think, is a letter from the program office, also like this lady, and a card. Is that, I think that's where we're at.
But if I load $385,
Okay, that's your question.
I won't get my money's worth.
You don't have to load, is what I'm saying is, you won't have to load $385. You can load as much as you want or as little as you want, but you won't get charged more than $385 in a calendar year.
Yeah, okay. See, when I phoned on February 1st, I gave them my $385 credit card over the phone. They didn't say they didn't want it, the $385.
Okay, so you called the city and put in
February 1st, February
Okay.
1st, and they
Definitely,
didn't say,
okay.
okay,
I will definitely check
yeah,
back in the office for you.
okay.
Did you get charged?
I don't know, not yet on my credit card, so I don't know
Right.
what's going on from
Yeah,
February 1st.
you shouldn't be charged for your credit card for this year, but I will check in again. Okay?
So
Okay,
you'll get back
so
to it.
we don't
I
really
will.
want to load, we don't want to load $385 on there then. We just wanted
No, you can load as.
calculate,
Sorry, go ahead,
Like-
Alvin.
well, calculate the number of months left and then, do it for the total number of months maybe.
As much as you wish, again, you can add money and load money whenever is convenient for you. But just to know that in a calendar month, you won't be charged more than $35.
Yeah,
That's the monthly pass rate. And in a
Yeah.
calendar year, you wouldn't be charged more than 385. So how much you put in and how often is completely up to you if you're on the pay as you go.
but if you have a balance at the end of the year, then it just disappears.
No, it does not.
Carries over.
It
No.
carries over. Whatever is on your account stays there until you use it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, the way I look at it is you don't want ETS to have your money months in advance. You might as well keep it in your bank. And so you just put on a
What you-
reasonable amount and then check your balance periodically to make sure you have enough left. And then add more when you need to. You don't want to give them $385 at the beginning of the year. Or $35 every month. You don't want ETS to have your money until they need it. That's what I think.
I understand that per month you will be charged what you use up to a maximum of $35.
That is correct. That is correct.
Or annually up to a maximum of
Of
$385,
That's right.
but you only pay what you
Right.
rest.
So if you're using the bus in a calendar month and you happen to hit $35 worth of use on the 10th day, so be it. After that, you won't be charged anymore.
It's free.
After that. So thank you very much. It's just past 12 o'clock and we do try to stay online. I see Joan, you just turned on your camera. Do you have one last quick question that we can sneak in? Okay, in that case, thank you so much for the presentation. Very helpful. I do see there's a stack of art cards there.
Right.
That people might want to take if they don't want to spend $6 to get an art card. And thank you, everybody, for attending. Really appreciate it. Please join us next week when we have some folks from Out Loud St. Albert who are going to come and talk to us. So, yay! That's it.
Please stay for coffee.
And yes, please stay with coffee and cookies. And Joe and
Thank you,
I,
everybody.
so they're homemade cookies, so that's what you're missing, you know. Anyways, thanks very much.
Thank you,
everybody. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.